Hello and welcome to a beautiful day in Wicklow. I'm down in an absolutely stunning place in Wicklow. Look, it's got a waterfall, it's got giant boulders, it's got loads of little pools. You may remember this video from a few months back I posted where I had the dream mat set up in the river. As you can see, there's not much in the way of flow at the minute. Having said that, what I'm using today, in simple terms, what it is it's a bucket with a hole in it. I throw some water and gravel in on top. The water and the gravel mix down through the hole and straight down to the sluice box. So I have to say, it works really well. I have a bigger version. It's going into Dream Mat. I have a 6x16. I have a bigger version arrive on the post, and that'll be here very shortly. So really looking forward to that. But just thought I'd give you a quick overview on the layout of the place and what we're doing. You can see where, look at that, and that's just a gorgeous waterfall. I mean, that big boulder, myself and another prospector worked here a while ago. It was originally deep in there, and we worked and we got it out. Only problem is I didn't find any gold there, and now it's sitting on the patch that I have found gold on. So having said that, I'll just work this as best I can. Eventually we might even just push it back where it came from. So let me know in the comments below what you think we should be doing as regards that one. Will we move it back where we found it, or will we just work over there beside the waterfall? You decide. Whichever gets the most amount of votes, we'll go with that option. So however, so that's it, that's the waterfall. There's a few pipes there set up from the last time I was here. I was trying to set it into a hopper box. It didn't particularly work out very well, but look, you know, it's like anything else. You just give things a go and see what happens. So anyway, so that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the bucket system now in a minute. And well, I'll set up the bucket system. And actually, as I always tell people, the very first thing you do, test pan, and then do some test pan. Don't ever set up a sluice box without actually test panning. So that's what I do now. So let's go do some test panning. See you in a minute. Okay, so we're down to the little section here where I've worked before. I know there's good gold here. I have a nice little panning pool just behind me where the waterfall is, and I'll show you that in just a second. In terms of processing material, I'm going with the basics: bucket, half-inch classifier, and of course my sucker tube, which I've changed around a lot lately. I've got a handle on it. Oh, the difference this makes. I don't have to bend down, I don't have to crouch, I don't have to hurt my back. I mean, the speed at which I can run material. When you see that setup later on, you'll see why I like it so much. Let's see how we get on. The first thing we do is fill up with water. We don't necessarily have to worry about putting a rock on it because it's not running. The water's not running that fast. Just give you a slightly better angle now on this one. Yep. We got some nice little deep voids. A lot of this material is kind of clay material, so clay is, you know, acts like a false bedrock. But sometimes what can happen is you'll get gold caught up in the clay. I just find from experience it's better just to work the top layer of the clay. It really is. So because I haven't been here in so long, and because there's been so many storms since then, I find when you get to a place you have never been to before, or you haven't been to in a very long time, it's best just to get samples from all over the place. So hopefully that's a little bit better angle. As I say, I'm just working the ground in front of me here. Just working pretty much anything I can. Really, under the boulder, over here beside the bank, not on the bank, under the bank obviously. This is where there was another big massive rock. Most of my time spent here has been spent clearing boulders and rocks and just trying to get down to the gold, really. That's what it's about. So I'll just do a little bit more from here, and then we'll go up further upstream and do our actual test pan. You can see where you're getting a lovely, what's known as marbling. See where the water is changing colour now. So that process is known as marbling. So that's where you get that kind of marble colour in the clay. So again, we're just going to take samples from anywhere we can, really. I'm liking that a lot. Suddenly I'm into a pocket where I'm getting a stack load of gravel. That's probably a little better than working a clay layer where I get no gravel at all. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like that. A lot of material in there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over and pan this material. Just going to have a quick check at the bucket. We've only done about 30 or 40 draws. Oh yeah, That'll do for a sample. So in terms of sample, the pan I have with me today is the Garrett Super Sluice. It's a little bit heavier than the E-Swing, but this thing moves volume, so let's go to that pan now. Okay, so earlier on I was giving out about the location of the boulder. It's sitting in the middle of the road, but it acts as a perfect position for the tripod. So what I'm going to do is, as best I can, I'm going to try and get this material right down. I'm going to, hopefully you can see it from this angle. I love the Garrett Super Sluice. I don't have the head mount with me today, so just on the tripod. Head mount is a very good option, but that tripod works just as well. I'm only sample panning, so I don't need to be overly gentle. I doubt you'd even see it. I can just barely see it. 1 microdot gold there, so at least we know we're in the right part of town. Right, I tell you what I'll do. I don't have all day to spend here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up, it's only a tiny bit, you wouldn't even see it there, innit? But I'm going to set up the hopper system. It's going to take a few minutes set up because I have to fill the lower bucket with a lot of gravel, any old gravel first. Get the height right, and once I have that set up, then I'll come back to you. See you in a minute. So I'll show you a different angle in just a second. What I'm doing at the minute is I'm using a sucker tube, the sucker tube water into a bucket with a classifier on top, and as I sucker tube water in and gravel in, they both mix and they come out a 2-inch nozzle which then comes down the end. It's just the most simplistic, easiest thing in the world. It's just me manually sucking gravel in with my sucker tube into a bucket, and the water falls out via gravity. The most simplistic thing ever. And because I have the nice handle on the sucker tube, I don't hurt my back. But the advantage is, that's one action. I use that sucker tube, the sucker tube material, from here straight into the bucket, goes down through the bucket. Be careful now because it's nearly going to fall over here. But goes down through that 2-inch piece of pipe into a bend straight into the floor. It just continues on down and loose. Look, this setup works, and I can run material as fast as I can sucker tube, but now that I've had my electrolytes and all my proteins, I can just keep running material all day long, or for a couple of hours at least. So that's the plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you up now in another angle, and you can see it in operation. I have to say I love this thing. It's just brilliant. I mean, like, as fast as I can sucker tube into that classifier, I can process material. The only limitation is how fast can I move material. That's it, plain and simple. So one of the things I do need to do now is I brought along my cultivator. If you haven't seen this in use before, I'd highly recommend checking out the first time I used this, which was on the beach. So this is a cultivator made by True Temper, not sponsored by them. I just absolutely love everything. If I'm buying a shovel, a spade, anything digging, I'll only ever buy True Temper. Like, I have a spade that I have at home that has lasted 6-7 years and it's still in perfect condition. Other ones would fall apart. True Temper, best way forward. So what we're going to do is just going to cultivate these rocks over here and drag them back. And like anything else, you don't have to really dig right into it. You can just put it in. And look, but I'm just practically, I'm using 2 hands, but my left hand is just simply for guiding the thing back. I'm not actually putting a lot of force into it. Aside from when I'm on the clay there, you know. I'll try and get closer towards the bucket because obviously that area is easier to work. Gotta love technology, huh? Tripod was listed at €16. I wonder why. So hopefully you can see all right from that angle. I'll change things around in a second just in case the sun is glaring you there. So as you can see here, I have the bucket here, 1/2 inch. I have the classifier. There's not a whole lot of room to stand here really. What I was doing earlier, I was working the gravel and kind of turn it that way, but I want you to be able to see this. So I'll do it as best I can. So we're going to try and find some, there we go, nice loose gravel here. The addition of a handle on the sucker tube just makes life so much better. Ah, that's nice. Oh, we're into some nice gravel there. Nice bits of iron, nice bits of quartz. And I think initially when I started doing this setup, I was a bit concerned, oh no, I'm losing gold or I'm not getting it all. Yeah, and, you know, like, I'm getting more gold today than I would if I sat at home complaining that I don't have the right setup. So sometimes with this, especially when you're working clay, you don't always get gravel with it. Sometimes you get just water on its own, which is fine. I can see there where I'm getting a lot of water, which isn't a problem because, you know, when you're working clay, sometimes you want to wash it through more water. So sometimes you'll often see me double draw the sucker tube, and that's simply because the area I'm working has a lot of clay and that happens. So a lot of rocks just fell off into the sluice box. That's not fun. Yeah, half-inch rocks are not going to help the situation. Not going to help us catch gold. Sometimes it is just water. Right, okay, I'm going to put you in the freeze frame mode in a second. Okay, I've lost track of how much dirt I've put through. If you want to have a quick look at this, I'll show you the tailings pile. Just look at the amount of tailings I've got there. Oh wow. Yeah, worm day. No amount of electrolytes is enough. I guess about maybe 300 draws of sucker tube. It's already been about 2 hours since I was filming and done those freeze frames. Okay, so I have this bit of pipe here. When I'm scraping away with the rake, or I'm trying to sucker tube out of here, what ends up happening is the clay disturbs the ground and I can't see where I'm going, so I have to step out of the hole and wait a few minutes. So just a water after waterfall, just push it down to here, and now I can clearly see underground. And even if I disturb the ground slightly with the muck, pretty much within a few seconds it's clear because this water is coming through. It's brilliant in that regard. So the plan is now I'm just going to do a few more draws into this, get you a good clear shot of that, and then do the clean out. Let me see how much shiny we have, if we've any shiny. Hope you can see that correctly. The leg off my highly expensive €16 tripod has just fallen off. So I'll try and patch it up when I go home. Hopefully you can see it correctly from this angle. So I have another 3-mat system on its way. This one is 6 by 16. The new one is 8 by 36. So it's, in other words, 3 feet long by 8 inches wide. I'm running out of gravel here, to be honest with you. Right, other than getting down on my hands and knees and picking out all them rocks, there's pretty much nothing left. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit pause on this. I'm just going to clean out the sluice into a bucket and then pan it out and just basically just see how much shiny we have. So hopefully it's loads of shiny. I'll see you in a minute. Bye bye. Okay, so hopefully you can see that correctly, as the leg of the tripod fell off a minute ago, so I'm balancing precariously on a rock just as well as a waterproof camera. So this is the Garrett Sluice. There's some stuff left over from earlier on. It wasn't really all that much gold. There was probably 1 or 2 specks left in it. I'd be hoping to find more than that. So this is the cons from the dream mat, and then obviously there's the cons in the bucket as well. I'll pan them separately. There's usually about 15 to 20% of the gold is left in there. So this is the material. I'll work this down as best I can. See what we can find. As there hasn't been much flow lately, this river has certainly come down in height. It was a lot deeper earlier on. This is a side note on quality. The last video I did was in 2K and it is very good. The only problem is it took 7 hours to render it. We have 5 hours to stitch together, 7 hours to render. So this one is in 1080 max. So let me know in the comments below if you notice the difference or which you prefer. As this one should only take about 2 hours to stitch it. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of black sand. Seeing a good bit of black sand, a lot of red sand as well. That's a good sign. And obviously the dream mat was cleaned out beforehand. That's the thing about this place, it's so sporadic. You find nothing and you find loads, and you find nothing, you find loads. Just like this little river. This isn't the direction the river is always taken, you know. Right, just do a quick backspin for a second. Just have a look myself, see if I can find anything before I spin around to yourselves first. Okay, we've got red sand. Oh, we have gold daily. Oh, we have gold. This is like the last one where I done the reveal live, and here's why. Although I'll bring the camera up to the light so you can see that properly. Oh, that's nice. Now, granted, I ran about 200 draws of the sucker tube, and obviously if there was enough flow here, a traditional sluice box would work better, or the dream mash in a traditional sluice box, which might even be an option soon. But however, look, there's gold in that pan. It's nice pieces there. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, chances are you'll like what I've posted previously and the videos I'm going to be posting in the future. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and sure, catch you next one. Bye bye.